mynews.studio.
Picture this for a moment. Instead of a prescription for medication, your doctor hands you an entry ticket to the local art museum. Could spending time among paintings and sculptures really help with depression?
This isn't just a thought experiment. Today's date is June 15th, 2025, and in Neuchâtel, Switzerland, doctors are actually prescribing museum visits. It's part of a new public health approach, encouraging patients to engage with art to support their mental health. But why now, of all times?
The idea comes straight from World Health Organization research. Their studies show that experiences with the arts, like viewing paintings, listening to music, or even strolling through a sculpture garden, can reduce trauma symptoms and help protect against cognitive decline. Switzerland's program is about putting that research to work in real-world clinics.
But in reality, how does this play out? Are people genuinely seeing benefits, or is this more about making headlines?
Actually, the first reports from Neuchâtel suggest it's more than just a nice headline. Patients talk about museum visits as moments that bring some light into dark times. For some, it's their first step out of isolation, finding a little joy, discovering something new, or just having a reason to leave home. That's not always possible with traditional therapies.
But is there any solid data yet, or are we still relying on personal stories?
Right now, it's mostly feedback from patients and observations from doctors. They're noticing better moods, more motivation, and patients getting out and moving more. The health authorities are planning a formal study soon with a control group. They'll measure mental health changes, how often people go out, and activity levels. The aim is to find out if these art prescriptions have lasting effects.
Could this sort of program work in other countries? What would have to change for art on prescription to catch on elsewhere?
That's a really important point. It depends on a few things. How a country views mental health and alternative therapies, whether health systems are open to funding non-drug treatments, and, of course, access to museums and cultural spaces. Neuchâtel is a small town with several museums nearby, but in larger cities or rural areas, just getting to a museum might be a challenge.
And then there's the issue of insurance, right? Most health plans don't cover something like culture as therapy.
Exactly. That's a major obstacle for many places. But the Swiss example is getting attention abroad. If research there shows clear benefits, like better mental health, lower costs, maybe even less medication, then policymakers elsewhere might begin to take it seriously.
What about over the long term? How will they know this isn't just a short-lived boast?
The new evaluations will track things like mental health over time, how often people stay socially active, and if they keep up with physical activity after the prescription ends. If those numbers hold steady or even improve, that's a strong sign the approach works for more than just a few weeks.
Why should people outside Switzerland care about this?
Because mental health challenges are everywhere. Many people struggle to get help, and not everyone finds relief with just medication or talk therapy. This approach is non-drug, potentially more accessible, and could prompt health systems around the world to rethink how they support mental health. It also asks a bigger question. Should healthcare include culture? And what might healing look like beyond the usual clinic walls?
It's a reminder that health isn't only about biology or chemistry. Sometimes, a quiet moment with art can offer something that medicine can't. Are we prepared to see that as part of treatment?
That's the discussion Switzerland has started. Maybe it's time for the rest of us to think about it too.
Today, we looked at how Swiss doctors are turning museum visits into a form of therapy and what that might mean for the future of mental health care. Thanks for listening.
If this story made you think, share it and keep the conversation alive. Thank you for tuning in. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.